Happy Pride Month. Is it normal that I don't see you?
Yes, I'm just having a little bit of issues with connection right now, so the video's not working that fine, but definitely did want to go ahead and get this interview done. I'm so excited.
No problem.
So if you wouldn't mind, just for a couple of the people who are popping in, some of the new listeners, just giving us a slight introduction.
Hello, my name is Adriana, and I'm the bombshell from Canada's Drag Race Season 2. I am the Colombian Latina from Quebec City. And what else do you want me to say? I don't know.
Of course, that's all that they need to know.
Yeah, if you want if you want to know more, I have a lot of Insta pictures and a lot of content coming. There's a lot going.
Yes, I'm glad to hear that. Now I do want you to just kind of walk us through, just the daily normal, just a day to day in your life.
Well, a day-to-day in my life, in drag or out of drag?
Oh, it can be both.
Out of drag, I would say I'm pretty like most of the people wake up, sometimes take a shower, sometimes I don't. No, I try to take a shower every day. I do. I have a breakfast. I started reading a lot these days. I am working on new projects now, so I'm moving a lot these days. Working, going, taking the metro, taking the bus, playing another club, another club. So it literally
Okay.
changes every day. I don't have like a routine that I can say like I do this every day.
Just know you're booked and busy.
Mm-hmm. Booked and busy.
Okay. Now I do want to ask, how were you introduced to drag?
So I didn't know much about drag before I started as a backup dancer for drag queens. I used to just be like out of the LGBTQ2IA plus 2 plus community. So when I came out here in Canada, that's when I started to discover the beauty of drag and the beauty of around everything else. And yeah, that's kind of how I got in there. I started dancing for drag queens, and they didn't want to do the concepts that I had in mind. So I was like, what? Why shouldn't I try it? So I started trying it, and 7 years ago, here I am.
Okay. And just describe for us exactly who Adriana is and how she came to life.
So Adriana is the Latina Cuchi Cuchi Caliente from Colombia, but I do use a lot my Latin roots in my performances. But I do love doing other cultures, but not like appropriating cultures, but I do
Right.
like doing like pop stars and concepts, a lot of musicals that I love. I'm sorry, my English today is so bad. I
No,
am
great.
struggling. Can we do this again, like in French?
Oh my goodness. Okay, then
No,
I'm
no.
gonna be the one struggling.
I am kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm fire on stage. Literally transform into someone else when I'm on stage. So yeah, that's me.
And we definitely did get to see that fire on the stage of Drag Race. Just kind of transitioning into that, what made you feel like, that would be, kind of a great fit for Adriana?
I never thought of Drag Race like being a perfect fit for Adriana. I do feel that I'm more comfortable on a stage than on a competition like that. But all the adrenaline during the season, it was just like I wanted to perform, and I really work well under pressure. So I think that kind of showed when I was on TV. If it was in French, hey, maybe I would have the crown right now. But no, I didn't think that I would fit in like the whole Canada's Drag Race thing because I'm more like a quiet person. But hey, we're almost all quiet during the season, so I fit perfectly.
Right.
And can you tell us a little bit about, how you heard about the casting call and just describe a little bit of the process between auditioning, getting to film and things like that?
I cannot talk a lot about audition or how the process is, but I can be very general.
Okay.
So, of course, everyone is welcome to apply, and you go through some steps that you have to work on videos, show whatever you can in the less time that you can, show your skills in maybe sewing, maybe snatch game, maybe other things, and yeah, try to make yourself shine in a very short video. Well, in a very short couple of videos, and all that full of anxiety and self-doubt.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was worth it. So it's a lot of work, but it's just the beginning, because when you get there, it's like 10 times the work that you did for all the audition. It's like boot camp for
Right.
graduate.
Right. Yeah, I definitely understand that. Now, getting into this iconic entrance look, can you just kind of give us a little bit of the concept behind that?
I did. So my drag is very inspired by my aesthetic. It's inspired by a lot of um, designs, like not superheroes, but kind of comics ish. Uh,
Right.
so that one was based on an illustration by an incredible artist. I saw it kind of like a intergalactic mermaid burlesque ish kind of
Yes.
puta. So
I
it was
live.
like everything combined with the fabric that I found, that it was the best that I found, my big titties and just me.
Loved it. Now I did see, upon hearing her voice, you immediately recognized Ocean, Aqua Black, and you guys kind of gravitated towards each other. How did you guys meet prior to the show?
So we used to perform in the same club. Actually, we don't used to perform. We still perform there. But I met Ocean 10 years ago.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, 11 now, when I started dancing for backup dancers. I never danced for her because she had her own crew. I was with
Mhm.
someone, but uh, yeah, we've always worked together, even if I didn't dance with her. Sorry.
You're
And
fine.
yeah, we've been in the same projects, like drag projects, and we know each other very well.
Okay. Now, first day in the first challenge, you guys are literally basically jumping into this huge pit of styrofoam, trying to reach for the crown. What is kind of going
Thank you,
through
Paul.
your head in that moment?
First I was like, okay, let's do it. Second, when I was in the pool, I was like, who the fuck didn't take a shower? It was like such a stinky fucking pool. Just imagine all the foam, but that day was just so hot. So I think that everyone was just like so sweaty, and the pool was just like a pool of sweat, because when I
Oh my
jumped in it, it felt
goodness.
like humid, and it wasn't anyone's fault. It was like everyone's fault at the same.
Right. I
So
couldn't
it was
imagine.
it was just like try to make it work, even because I had this skirt that I couldn't walk with, and after that I just took it out. I just took it out and took it off and just jumped in it, and the photo looked how it looked.
Yes, and it definitely came out amazing.
I think so.
Now, in the second episode with the Rusical live performances, what challenges did you face in that challenge? Did you have any issues?
Yeah. So first rapping in English was the first time that I was doing that in a group with two other francophones. That was the biggest challenge. And being in a group, like I saw everyone else like practicing their things by themselves. And if you watch it again, the people who didn't do well is the people who worked in groups, not because we were not. I mean, we
Right.
were not good when you see it, but when you see the whole thing, like everyone who did good was by themselves, which it was just we had the same time to do the same thing in group, so we had like an extra break. Yeah. So that was I think like an extra challenge that I I didn't see at the moment, but after that when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, we were working in teams, and it was a mess. I mean, it
Well,
was
I'm
epically a mess. It was epic, like such a mess that it was epic.
what did you find the most challenging about working in groups?
Um, it's not like working in group, because we've done a lot of shows in Quebec City, like production shows, these huge things. But when you have just like a
Right.
certain amount of time to get three heads to work the same way, that's where the challenge is. If you gave us like a whole month working in groups, no problem with that. But like working in a group, trying to do a lot of things that we've never done ever and try to perform as we do usually on stage, that was the hard part because we got along. It was not that. It was just
Right.
like we didn't have enough time.
And that definitely was the gist that, we did, that I did kind of get from watching. Now, getting into those iconic looks, were most of your looks designed by you, or did you kind of work with a designer?
So I came up with the ideas with a team. We were three thinking about the whole concepts, and I then sent like my ideas to the designers, couple of designers, and I worked with them like very closely, making sure that what I saw was what was being done, and that's how everything. It was literally a teamwork with everyone. So the whole team came with the the finished product.
Okay, and I love that. Now, a few of your looks definitely stood out during the season. Um, the Ugliest Sin, the Stunning Marie Antoinette, and the Circus Berserkers were just a few that definitely stood out to me. I love those looks. Now, do you find the designing process to be a little bit easier working with a partner, or do you kind of, already have most of, the ideas of what you already are wanting?
To go on the show,
Well, just in general, whenever
like
you're looking to.
I really like I am open to suggestions and to ideas of everyone, and if it fits, it's gonna work. We're gonna make it work. So yeah, I do like to work by myself, but I really appreciate and enjoy working with my partner because he gives me like he pushes me a little bit further than where I would usually go. But so yeah, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate working with a partner like the one I have. I'm really lucky to have him. Hello.
And through scrolling the timeline, they're just getting better with time. I mean, they are coming out super amazing. Now, getting into some of the acting challenges, what were some of your thoughts on that? I did see that you looked like you were having most of, the fun during the season during those acting challenges.
I mean I love acting. I um since I was a little child, I wanted to become an actor or actress, and drag just with drag you can do everything you want. So that's one of the
Right.
things that I like most. And what I enjoy the most about drag is not like doing two numbers on stage. It's that I love it too. But what I enjoy the most is like creating a whole production with different talents in it, with dancers and a whole storyline with acting, like having like a
Yes.
script with it. So I really enjoyed those moments while I was on the show.
Yes, and it definitely sounds like fun. And as I stated, it looked like you had an amazing time when you were doing especially when you guys were doing the kind of remake when you were
Yeah.
able to kind of get through that.
Separate my real life from drag. Huh?
Yes. So I was stating that I know Kendall sort of brought up sometimes it being a little bit harder for her to be, able to separate her real life from, her drag persona. I was just wondering if maybe that's something you've experienced yourself, and if so, how you were able to get through that.
I have. It's like the main like subject that we talk about with my friends. So I'm like, sometimes I'm just like, okay, let's stop talking about that. I know that I was on a show. I know that we have this show coming, but we can talk about other things than just drag. It becomes such a big part of your life. Then if I quit doing drag like next week, I would be like, do I have any social skills? No, but I really try to just kind of push it away when I can, and just like when I'm camping or when I'm training or when I'm reading, it helps me not to think just about what I'm gonna do or how I have to perform, because I'm really hard on myself. So it's always like I really have to perform the way that I see myself performing. So it's a lot of pressure that I put on myself, but still, I'm working a lot on not letting that affect my personal life.
Okay, and that definitely sounds amazing. And I definitely, just wanted to see if you could share that with a couple of fans. I do know that, I do know a couple of people that are in drag and they do kind of struggle with that sometimes. So it definitely just, helps to kind of ask those questions when we do have the chance. Now, getting into
Yeah.
Snatch Game, what made you choose Sophia Vergara?
Well, I thought that my accent was gonna like work for me, and that I could just use my mother's accent, because literally my mom has the same accent as Sofia Vergara, and just act a little bit like my mom. But no, it didn't work. My mom is not Sofia. I think I like that's one of the moments where I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I shouldn't have put so much pressure on me, and just have fun with the character. I wanted to be very like, I want to sound like her, I want to look like her, I want to act like her, and that didn't really work. So next time, if there's a next time, I'm thinking of something that I can have fun with, that I can just be like stupid with.
Okay, great. That sounds amazing. And now I do just kind of want to go down the list of the Rue girls from your season, and you kind of just tell me, where you stand with them now and things like that. Just kind of starting off with Isis Couture.
I mean, we all have, I, without saying like everyone, we all have like general contact that we chat sometimes, and that's about it. I cannot say that I'm really close to any of my cast members. I can say that I appreciate a lot of them, and that I really spend a very nice moments with lots of them. But yeah, I don't, I do have like two three close relationships, but the others is just like we talk sometimes. Sometimes we answer to our stories, and that's about it.
Okay. And how would you say that Drag Race has impacted your career?
It changed it completely. First, I am paid more than I was before. No, I'm kidding. No, no, no. It's no. It has put like more pressure on my shoulders, I think, and that's not like Drag Race that put it on my shoulders, but myself.